Should you scout for Hop and Zacian? Are they any good? Well, guys, this is part of the special collaboration something trading card game in Japan. And, well, this Sync Pair Scout comes out before the anniversary. So basically, this is another bait unit. This is a variety scout. And the good thing about variety scouts is that if you have 7,500 paid gems to spare, you are guaranteed one copy if you go for the discounted paid route. So guaranteed one copy and enough custom power-ups to make him 6-star EX. He's a sprint sync pair with an EX roll of tech. And again, as a sync pair that comes out before the 5.5-year anniversary, he's supposed to be bait and he's supposed to be good. So is he any good? Let's check it out right now by looking at his kit. So this sync pair is a steel type and his attack stat is 394, speed stat really high with a pretty decent HP stat, and if you have 6-star EX unlocked, those stats are going to go up even more. And let's check out his kit right now. The Sword That Save Galar protects the user against critical hits. That's Vigilance. When an attack move used by the user's Pokemon that targets itself or an ally is successful, that attack's target becomes all allied sync pair. So basically, something like if you have bulk up, or if you have Swords Dance or something like that, instead of buffing yourself up only, it will buff up everyone. And then, when an attack move used by the user's Pokemon that targets an opponent is successful, that attack's target becomes all opposing sync pairs. So every single type target or single target attacks become AoE attacks instead. And then when the user sync move attacks an opponent, that target becomes all opposing sync pairs. So as a sprint sync pair, normally only hits one opponent, but this time it hits every single opponent. And remember, his EX roll is tech. That means you are hitting every single opponent with not just a 1.5 times multiplier, but every single opponent gets hit with that 1.5 times multiplier. And then it will not be affected by the AoE penalty. And the power and chance of applying additional effects of moves and sync moves affected by this passive skill are not lowered even if there are multiple targets, basically in no AoE penalty. And then except in certain circumstances, every single attack and sync move becomes critical hits. Wow, that's a lot of things happening in this passive. Vigilance, AoE attack, AoE sync move, and then every single sync pair gets buff if you buff up yourself, and then it will have basically critical hits everything. Wow. Second passive, Fierce Entry 6. Start of the battle, you max out your attack stat. And Defense Destroyer 9. Every single time you attack an opponent, you get to lower their defense stat -9. Now remember that you're hitting every single opponent with your normal attacks. So that means every single attack you have will lower the opponent's defense -9. That's, or rather, -2. So 3 attacks and all the opponent's defenses are all the way down. Wow, that's pretty good. And in terms of attacks, you have Behemoth Blade. The attack's power increases 50% when the opponent has a sync buff. Okay, that's Gloria already has that. But then this is AoE. AoE Behemoth Blade hits everyone. Play Rough. 10% chance of lowering the opponent's attack stat -1. Hits everyone with a Fairy type attack. And then you have Blue Fangs Behemoth Blade. This is a 2-move gauge attack that hits everyone with a higher attack power than your Behemoth Blade. You can use this once only, but check this out, guys. It will activate when your attack stat is raised, basically at the start of the battle, and it will deactivate if your attack stat is not raised. Now, check this out. when the opponent does not have a sync buff. Basically, before the opponent uses their sync move, when you use Behemoth or Blue Fang's Behemoth Blade, it will restore 1 MP of Blue Fang's Behemoth Blade. So what does that mean? You can spam Blue Fang's Behemoth Blade, 2-move gauge attack that hits everyone with really strong steel type damage. Spam this before the opponent uses their first sync move, and you will have unlimited uses of a 2-move gauge AoE super strong, well, not super strong, but strong steel type attack. And then if the opponent has a sync buff, that means after the opponent uses their sync move, the attack power is doubled. Now, you do not get to restore 1 MP already because the opponent will have a sync buff, and that first part of the passive or that first part of the description of the buddy move will not trigger anymore. But then you get to lower your sync move countdown -2 as well. So, at least you get a double damage for the opponent with your Blue Fang's Behemoth Blade and lower your sync move countdown -2. But then, I want to spam this buddy move first before the opponent uses their sync move for the very first time. Okay, our true power applies to all allies, applies move gauge acceleration, reduces your sync move countdown -1. Now, I think this will only apply once it's not sync move countdown -3 or something like that. And then it raises the speed of all allied sync pairs +3. So that's nice. He's already very fast, and this will just speed him up even more. So, again, AoE attack, and then every single time you use Blue Fang's Behemoth Blade or Behemoth Blade, you get to lower the opponent's defense -2, and every single attack will just replenish 1 MP of Blue Fang's Behemoth Blade as long as the opponent has not and will not use their sync move first. Okay, now you have your sync move. The Fairy King's Sword, Steel Impact. Sad that it's still impact, but then the lower the opponent's defense is, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. So it's very easy to lower the opponent's defense stat. And then the first time, or rather, sorry, my mistake. It's the EX roll, the built-in passive, guys. The lower the opponent's defense stat, the stronger the sync move damage. And then, since this is a sprint sync pair, it will lower your sync move countdown -3 the first time you use your sync move. And then he has a Tech EX roll, which will power up his sync move by 1.5 times. And then, as his passive skill, he will hit every single opponent with his sync move. So this is a very, very, very powerful sync pair, and is a pretty good bait unit. But then you have really strong steel type sync pairs right now. But I think if you want to pair him up with with Champion, or rather Arcsuit Steven, I think they will make a very strong and good combo with Steven giving the steel type rebuffs. You don't need to buff up his attack stat. He can buff up his attack stat immediately. And then Arcsuit Steven just bringing in the recovery and all, helping with the defense down, although Hop can already lower the defense of the opponent, and then just spam attacks, and the opponent will be down very quickly. But let's take a look at his kit, or his sync grid. So he does not get an exclusive lucky cookie, which is sad. But then at 1 out of 5, you got a Behemoth Blade, move gauge refresh 3, Headstrong, and Sand Shelter. Headstrong will be helpful, I guess, in some ways. 2 out of 5, you got Natural Remedy. You got our True Power MP Refresh 2, which can raise your speed stats for everyone, and then lower your sync move countdown, if I'm not mistaken. Play Rough, move gauge refresh 3. Play Rough on a roll 4. If you get this, you have a higher chance of lowering the opponent's, every single opponent's attack stat. You have Propelling Strike 5. Wait, is there actually a Propelling Strike 5 here? Let me just quickly check because I might have made a mistake, but let me quickly check right now if that is actually existent. Propelling. It does have propelling strike. Oh, wait. The description is wrong, guys. Let me correct that. So, propelling strike 5 is 50% chance of... Where the heck did I put it? It's not electric terrain. My mistake. So, give it that. And then, this is propelling strike. 60% chance of charging your move gauge when the attack is successful, and then quick tempo, super victory. You know, you get to hit every single opponent with your attacks, and then when it's able to knock out an opponent, you get a super effective up next effect, making your next attack stronger, or your sync move stronger. Team Fast Track 9, every single time you attack, you use a move, you get to raise everyone's speed stat +1. Very strong. 3 out of 5, you got a multiplier. You have inertia. The faster your speed is, the higher your speed is, the stronger your sync move damage. And then you got insult to injury for powering up your moves, which is very easy to trigger. Entry physical boost 2 is not exactly too crazy for me, because he's already really, really powerful, I think. And then you have Play Rough Overwhelm 9, guaranteed lowered one opponent attack stat. Play Rough super duper effective. 5, Sync Damage Guard. And then take Sync Move hit, physical boost up to 9. When you are hit by a Sync Move, which I don't want to be hit by a Sync Move, but when you are hit by a Sync Move from the opponent, you get to raise your own physical moves up next effect by 2. And I want to finish off the opponent before the opponent's able to use their sync move. So, he has a lot of multipliers. You have Super Victory for super effective up next effect. You have a built-in, the lower the opponent's defense stat, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. That's Relentless, built-in. You have Inertia, the higher your speed stat is, the stronger your sync move damage is gonna be. And then you have a Tech EX roll. And then it's guaranteed gonna be a crit. And then you have built-in vigilance. Lots of things happening for this sync pair. And this is one of those really nice steel type units. But then this is a sus variety scout, which someone has asked me if there's a chance of this rerunning because it's a special collaboration thing. I mean, I do not know. I cannot answer that, because Ash has not rerun. But then Anniversary Steven came out before Ash, and for the longest time since 2011, Anniversary Steven did not rerun, and now he's here. So, will Ash rerun? Maybe, maybe not. Will Hop rerun? I don't know. Maybe in a Variety Scout in the future, but I do not know. But, you know, just scout for him. If you have a spare 7,500 paid gems, he's really good, in my opinion. He goes to the list of very, very nice bait units. But, you know, we have recent steel type, aside from Arcsuit Steven. You also have Signasuit Lear, who just came out quite recently as well. So those are Sync Pairs. Plus, we have another steel type that came out fairly recently, New Year Poppy. So if you do not need a steel type anymore, then don't. But I can say that this steel type is really, really nice. And this goes up to, in terms of everything, I think this can go up to a 9 out of 10 for me, with everything going on with his kit. So, that's that. Scout for your faves and not the meta. But remember, Anniversary unit, I'm gonna talk about them eventually anyway. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button for me. And if you want to support me monetarily, you can go to my coffee.com/splgum page, or click on the join button down below to become a member of this channel. Thank you once again to everyone here for your support. And until then, I will see you in the next video. Rawr!